Welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today I'm super excited to bring you Week 6 NFL action. Every week so far has been great. It's been super excited. So today Mr. Beagle cannot join me, but he will send in his picks, so we'll keep that going. But we're just going to dive right into it like we always do. So here we go. Alright. So last week was a pretty crazy week. I actually did pretty good. I did win some money on sports bets, so that was really cool to see. Let's see. So when I get into my picks, so for example, I was like, okay, this is who I think is going to win, and they did. So I thought the Patriots going to win, the Buccaneers, the Eagles, the Titans, the Vikings, the Packers, the Saints, the Steelers. So I bet on all those teams to win, and I won like $30. So super awesome. When your bets hit that's super awesome. You're like, yeah, I finally won, because you go on that losing streak. You're like, man, I just can't get a dub. But hey, I finally won, so it's super awesome. So with that being said, my record is 12-3 for Week 5. With that being said, my total overall record is 42-28. So really good. Almost to 50 wins, which is awesome. I should already be there, but sometimes it'd be like that. So Beagle went 10-5 last week, so I did a little bit better. Like I said, I'm coming for that record. I want to get there, and so I'm going to be there. And then, so his total record is 45-26. Still has more wins than me, and he still has more losses than me, which, I'm trying to change that number. So, we'll see. But, we'll go from there. And this week we'll give our picks again. Like I said, I'll be giving my picks live here. I know he'll be texting me, so he did not text me yet. So when I do get them, I'll put them in the next video or whatever, or keep the record going. So you'll know and whatnot, or I'll probably put them in the comment section. So with that being said, let's go to the surprise of the week. So I always do a good and a bad. So the first one being, we'll go with the bad one so we end on a good note. So, bad. So I kind of picked, I picked two games here. The first one I picked here was the Packers versus the Bengals. And yes, this was a good game, but it shouldn't have been as close as it was. The Packers did win in OT 25-22. Now with that being said, like I said, this game should not have been close. There were a combined of at least 3 or 4 field goals. I was watching the game. I could not believe it. So just kind of crazy to think a lot of kickers missed extra points. We'll even get some Colts as well. But the Packers are 4-1. They are winning the NFC North, but they should definitely be doing better than winning 25-22. So the Bengals are 3-2 now. They were 3-1. Excuse me. So, with that being said, I can't believe this game went to overtime, but missed field goals, missed opportunities, that's what's going to happen. So, another bad game was the Raiders at the Bears. So, Beagle and I actually commentated this game on Sunday on Colorcast. It's this app, like I was explaining to you guys earlier, on my Instagram and on my Snapchat, that you go on and you can commentate. And it was really cool. It was awesome. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. I greatly appreciate that. Hopefully I do it again. I know I'm going to do an NBA game here soon because the preseason has started. So I know I'm going to start making podcasts for that. I actually might make one after this so that you might see another podcast going up as well. I don't want to intertwine both of them, NBA and NFL. Just keep one straight NFL podcast and then another episode of NBA. So you guys all have that to look forward to as well. So with that being said, the Raiders and Bears. So this game, the Bears won 20-9. So I didn't pick the Bears to win, and Beagle didn't even pick the Bears to win. So he thought the Raiders were gonna, play better, especially with the Raiders being the #1 pass offense in the league, having the most pass yards. So it's just kind of crazy to think that they lost 20-9. Let's see. I want to say they didn't even score a touchdown. I think they only kicked field goals, or I know they had 3 points, and they might have had a touchdown and then went for 2 and I think missed it or something. But anyways, the Bears won 20-9. So it's just kind of crazy to think what happened with the Raiders, and I was just like, man, I thought they were going to do a lot better. But the Bears defense showed up, and the Bears defense was able to, just grew out this win. Justin Fields was able to get his first passing touchdown. So it's really cool to see. on that kind of level that the Bears did do well. Justin Fields, they have promising in that, so it's super exciting and super cool to see. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the good game of the week. So I decided to pick the Colts and Ravens. So this could have been a way better game because the Colts could have won the game. But unfortunately, the Colts didn't win the game. They did lose the game. They were winning 25 to, I forget what the score was, how much they were winning, but I watched a little bit of it. And, the Ravens were able to come back and won in OT as well. And this was a great Monday night game. With every Monday night game has been great so far, so super excited to see that. But they won 31-25. I know that they did score 16 unanswered points. That the Colts missed the game-winning field goal going before they went into overtime to win the game. I know Blankenship did have his hip was like bruised or something like that, so he did, like I said, miss the game-winning field goal, which really sucks, to really see that the kickers this year are not doing so well. Like what is it? Kicks are very critical. It's just like when quarterbacks throw interceptions. It definitely changes the game and things like that. And how just it can swing a game. Because a quarterback drives well down the field, throws a game-winning touchdown. Okay, awesome. It's just like if they drive down the field and then you got to kick game-winning field goal. So unfortunately, we lost. I did predict that game. I had the Colts winning, and so I said, look, we can beat the Ravens if, and I know that I said this last week, we hold Lamar Jackson. We make him pass. We make him pass the ball. And unfortunately, fortunately, that's what we were doing to have the lead. But then, fourth quarter come around, the Ravens were just blowing us out. Kind of crazy, like I said, scored 16 unanswered points. Lamar Jackson did have his career high passing yards, so he had 400 and, excuse me, sorry, I just ate dinner, guys. I'm going to drink water. He did have 400 some passing yards, like I said, so the most ever in his career. I did say he needed a pass in order to beat us, and that's exactly what he did. Mark Andrews caught a touchdown. I know Marquise Brown caught a touchdown in overtime to win the game. So, it's just really disappointing as a Colts fan to see them go down when they're winning for most of the game. So now the Colts are 1-4. I did predict that record. Going in their first 5 games, I said they were going to go 0-5 if they don't have Carson Wentz for their first 5 games, or they're going to go 1-4 if they have Carson Wentz. And look, they're 1-4. So they should be 2-3, but with what happened, they're 1-4, and the Ravens are 4-1. So opposite records. The Ravens are playing pretty well. Lamar Jackson is, I believe, an MVP candidate. I'm not going to talk about MVP candidates yet. I will get into that, but just not yet. Kind of going to do it when about halfway during the season. But like I said, yeah, they're 4-1. The Ravens are doing well. So, it just kind of sucks to see that the Colts didn't get that win when they should have got that win. On to, kind of news of the week or something like that. Kind of like to put in a little thing real quick, talking about this week or something that's going on before we get into our picks. So with that being said, everyone's kind of heard of John Gruden, the comments that he said, the things that he said like over emails years ago. But it doesn't matter when the emails were said. He did say those type of things. He said those things for a reason. So it's just very unfortunate that we have people out there that do say things like that. So unfortunately, he is gonna have to. Well, so it's not unfortunate that he has to resign. I mean, he should be resigning, but it's just like I said, unfortunate that he said those things. So because he was a pretty good coach, he did win a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, but with that being said, the Raiders, now I got to find a new coach. And so I don't know how that's going to affect them this year and whatnot, but we'll definitely see, if they can have a chance to win that division or even make the playoffs. So, like I said, with the comments on John Gruden, very unacceptable, not professional, doesn't need to be in this league. So, I'm glad that he's not going to be in this league anymore as a coach because we just don't need that whatsoever. So that being said, we're going to move on to Russell Wilson. I almost said Russell Westbrook because they have the same name, so it's just like, gets to me. But Russell Westbrook will be out for the first time in his career. He's never missed a game, so it's kind of crazy to think that with how much he runs around, making plays and things like that. Super cool that he can do that. That's what makes Russell Wilson one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game and how he's able to play the game. But with that being said, he will miss 1 month of football. So I know it's got to suck for him because, he doesn't miss games. So it's like, man, I'm going to miss 1 whole month. It's horrible. So with that being said, he suffered a ruptured tendon in his middle finger. We saw that on the Thursday night game when they were playing the Rams. He hit his finger on I believe it was Aaron Donald's helmet, and he tried to keep playing, but he just couldn't. Had to come out of the game. Geno Smith came in for him. Did go down the field and score a touchdown, but the Rams were able to just hold Geno Smith off, and the Seahawks then were able to win. So with that kind of being said, I think that jeopardizes the Seahawks' chances. And, I don't know how well Geno Smith is going to do. I hope he definitely does great, but Russell Wilson is such a better quarterback than Geno Smith. But Geno Smith is going to fill in. So with that being said, I think this, like I said, jeopardizes the Seahawks' chances of winning that division, especially since it's so good, and with Russell Wilson not being here for a whole month is definitely, it's 4 games right there, definitely going to hurt. So we'll see what Geno Smith can do. If he can, keep him above 500, keep him average. But if he doesn't, then the Seahawks may not make the playoffs this year. So that would be really unfortunate because, let's see Russell Wilson and the Seahawks in playoffs. So one more thing before we get into weekly predictions, we're going to talk about the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals are undefeated still. They were the last undefeated team in the league, and they are still the last undefeated team in the league. And they did beat the 49ers 17-10. Low scoring game. Normally they were having like 30-some points. Beagle and I talked about it last time, but not every game you're gonna score a lot of points, and this one happened to be one of them. But they did get to win, 17-10. So with that being said, I do want to go into next week, so week 6. Let's see, because I just want to see when that loss is gonna come, or is it ever gonna come? So let's see. They do play the Browns next week, so I think that I know Beagle and I talked about it when we thought the loss was gonna come. It could happen here. The Browns have been playing pretty well. They did put up 42 points versus the Chargers, and unfortunately the Chargers did win. Not unfortunately, but you know what I mean. Like for the Browns, unfortunately the Chargers won, but that was a really good game. So that was definitely probably game of the week to see, which is really awesome. So let's see if the Browns can carry that momentum over, but get a win this time. So the Cardinals may get their first L, but if Kyle Murray keeps playing like Kyle Murray, and that offense and that defense keeps playing like that defense, then they're definitely going to win. So super excited to see what happens this week. I got the most picks right so far that I've done. I went 12-3, so only 3 games that I didn't get right. I know there's normally I'm pretty sure more than 15 games, but I know some players are not on bye week and things like that. So I know, for example, like the 49ers, I have George Kittle on my fantasy team, and he had one he's on the IR unfortunately, but he is also not playing this week, so they have a bye week. So with that being said, I'm going to dive right into this week's picks. So week 6 picks. Here we go. I also hope you guys love what I did behind me here. Not only am I a Pacers fan, but Bulls fan too. Michael Jordan. So I got this at Kings Island about maybe my senior year in high school, and so it was like really cool to see. And I got it with Rio. So shout out to Mr. Rio here, one of also the creators of the channel. And I just had to do something different for the background. I didn't want it to be bland. Wasn't sure what I want to do. I found that on my drawing. I was like, hey, perfect idea. So hope you guys all like it. But here we go. Week 6 picks tomorrow. Starts Thursday Night Football. Super excited. Can't wait. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-1 playing the Philadelphia Eagles 2-3, 8:20 p.m. on Fox. Now Tampa Bay is favored to win this matchup. I definitely agree. I have them definitely winning this, so I'm just going to go ahead and say Tampa Bay. So I definitely think Tampa Bay is going to win. And Tom Brady threw for his most yards last game, or no, that was to the Dolphins. Did they play the Dolphins last week? They did. So they won 45-17. He threw for his first time and scored like 500 yards, I think it was. So and he threw 5 touchdowns. So really cool to see that. Tom Brady, is a GOAT out there. So harsh, yes, he is a GOAT. I know I didn't really like him on the Patriots, but gotta respect where respect is, and he absolutely is the GOAT. But with that being said, the Buccaneers are definitely going to win. The Eagles definitely need to run the ball because I know they played, I think the Cowboys on Sunday night or Monday night like a week ago, and they barely ran the ball. So you got to be able to pass and run because if you pass all the time, the defense is going to know what you're going to do. So with that being said, we walk into our first 9:30 game, and I believe this is London, and it is the Miami Dolphins playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. So 2 teams that are not doing too well right now. The Miami Dolphins are 1-4. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-5. I just gotta take a deep breath here because it's like, wow, 0-5 the Jacksonville Jaguars, knowing what Trevor Lawrence is able to do, not really losing more than 5 games in high school and college combined. So to see him, he's just 0-5. I know it is a different league. Urban Meyer's, their head coach, with some things he's getting into. We'll see if he's got his head on straight. So I think Tua might be coming back. I'm not sure. I know Brissett is that backup quarterback with the Dolphins. So he did pretty well in the first half versus the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. But Buccaneers were just better. So man, it's like, do I pick the Dolphins? Up at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, I believe Jacksonville Jaguars have to get their first win sometime, eventually. Man, I'm just not sure when. But you know what? Let's say they get into London. So I'm going to go with the Jags here. Shout out Wheezy. I know that you're a huge Jags fan, and right now it's nothing so hot, 0-5. But I think you guys get your first win this week. So we'll see what happens. You get your first win. You and the Dolphins have the same record. So let's get it. Then we have our first 1 o'clock game. So the Bengals are going into the Lions, and wow, I didn't know this either, but the Lions are 0-5. So we got an 0-5 AFC team and an 0-5 NFC team. So let's see who gets their first win first. But with that being said, I think the Bengals are, just going to keep rolling. Joe Burrow played very well versus Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and I think that he's going to do it versus the Lions. So I'm going with the Bengals here. Pretty easy pick with that. So next you have the Kansas City Chiefs playing at the Washington football team. The Chiefs are 2-3 right now, not looking to what they were going to be doing. So it's kind of crazy to think, oh, they're 2-3, they're not winning their division. But it's a long season. We'll see what's going to happen. Let's see here. So they're also playing the Washington football team. They got a pretty good young quarterback. They've got a good defense. So and that's why a lot of people think maybe the football team can win that division. So but Kansas City is favored to win, and I think the Chiefs are going to get back on track. And so I got to go with the Chiefs here. Then we move to the LA Rams playing the New York Giants. Now the Rams should be able to win this game pretty easy, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick them because it's a no-brainer. But the Giants, sometimes surprise me, but they had a lot of players hurt. I know for all you Giants fans out there, especially Joey, you said it's pitiful to watch, and hopefully people get back from injury because we don't want to see people injured. I know Barkley has had that crazy ankle injury, so he might be out for a few weeks. And boy, ankles ain't nothing to play with. You all know that. You've seen it on the channel before. I know that. But, with injuries, the Rams are just going to cruise past. So then you got the Chargers playing at the Ravens. So the Chargers are 4-1. The Ravens are 4-1. This might be game of the week. I don't know. Should this be a Sunday night game? Let's see what's Sunday night. Oh, that's what. Oh, well, okay. So, yes, I do believe that this should be a Sunday night game because the Sunday night game is the Seahawks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Pittsburgh Steelers are, we talked about Seattle, losing Russell. But, Ravens can have every Monday night game. But, the Chargers are, like I said, 4-1. The Ravens are 4-1. This is going to be a good matchup. And, it's just so hard to pick because Justin Herbert's playing well. Lamar Jackson's playing well. When will the Ravens lose another game? They've been, trailing and then be able to come back. So it's like, Chargers, the Ravens. This is a hard pick. I feel like me and Beaks would definitely differ on this. So I'm going to go Chargers. I'm riding them. I do like Justin Herbert, but I also like Lamar Jackson. So this game could definitely go either way. So Chargers. Let's go Chargers. With that being said, the Packers are playing the Chicago Bears. So Beaks, I know you definitely want to pick the Bears here. And I definitely don't get you wrong. I mean, you got to stick to your team. But you know who's probably going to win this game. You just know. So we both know the Packers are going to win. The Packers are 4-1. They had too much of a close call versus the Bengals. But I think they get back on track. Even though they're playing really good defense in the Bears, Packers win this one. Now, they could win by 3 or 4. It is a divisional game. So it's definitely going to be harder. For sure. Then you got the Vikings playing at the Panthers. Vikings are 2-3 right now. They've had hard losses, coming in within, 3 points or 7 points, once 4 games like that. So they are playing the Panthers. I'm not sure if Christian McCaffrey is playing or not. Sam Darnold is playing pretty well. If Dalvin Cook plays, then definitely I see the Vikings, but that's what I'm saying. It depends on who plays.
Man, I gotta go to fantasy real quick because like that really does like decide who I'm gonna pick. I do have Christian McCaffrey on one of my teams here, so let's see here, fantasy my team. Let's see, is he gonna play? Is he gonna play? Let's see. It looks like he says questionable. He's 50-50 to play, so I'm gonna go with the Panthers. He's 50-50. He might play. I still think they're gonna win, so we're going with Panthers. Next, you have the Cardinals playing at the Browns, so this definitely could be a Monday night game, so that's super exciting, or Sunday night game. So it's your first 4:05 game. Wow. It's like I don't want to go against the Cardinals, but I'm going to go against them here. I think they do get their first loss. The Browns come out on top and, are still going to compete there right for that division with the Ravens. Going to be a good matchup, though. I'm super excited to see what both teams are going to do. I feel like it's going to be a very high-scoring game. And then we have the Raiders playing the Broncos. So this is a divisional game, 3-2. I think the Raiders can definitely get back on track, but with, coaching, kind of mishap with everything going on, I think the Broncos are going to win this because they just, like I said, the coaching thing. And, I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like what they're doing. So I'm going with the Broncos here. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys playing the Patriots at the Patriots. So, Bill Belichick's very smart. So you never know what's going to happen. But if the Cowboys keep beating like they are 4-1. Their only loss is to Tampa Bay on the opening night. And they could have won that game, so they could be 5-0. They really could be. So on paper, like I said, this year the Cowboys should be able to win. But we'll just see what happens. So, I'm going with the Cowboys here for sure. As long as they get Zeke Eaton, should be fine. So that leads us into our 8:20 on NBC. The Seattle Seahawks at 2-3 are going in and playing the Steelers at 2-3 as well. So with that being said, like I said, Russell Wilson is out. Big Ben's not doing the best. I think he probably retires after this year. That's a hot take. Maybe we'll get into that, Steelers fans, sometime. But I do think the Steelers win this one. They did win last week, so let's keep it up. And Chase Claypool keep playing out there. Harris keep playing out there. I do have you winning Rookie of the Year, so show me why you should win Rookie of the Year, please. So then it leads us into our last game. It's Monday night, October 18th. I mean, Halloween's 3 weeks or 2 weeks away. After that, let's see here, 1, 2. Halloween is on a Sunday. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. So the Bills at 4-1 is going to come in at 8:15 p.m. and play the Tennessee Titans, who are 3-2. I'm not too sure if the Tennessee Titans are fully healthy with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. Derrick Henry is definitely going to eat. The Bills' defense is going to have to definitely bring it. But Josh Allen, I know, Biggs, you said, you went against him and picked the Chiefs because, you don't think that Josh Allen is playing like he did last year. Well, hey, I'm here to prove you wrong. He played well, and I think he's going to keep it up. And so I got the Bills winning this. Bills Mafia, keep breaking tables out there, guys. But I think this could be a good matchup. Everyone's healthy. Derrick Henry's definitely going to have a day. So this should be a good Monday night matchup. We've had good Monday night matchup so far, and I think we're going to keep it that way. So, like I said, I'll get Biggles picks here. I know soon or eventually, and I know he's going to text them to me. So I'll probably put him in the description below so you guys can see him. But, definitely talk about him next week because he said he definitely wanted to be on next week. So hopefully to definitely get him on next week. But with that being said, I want to say thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. And hopefully, we keep these records with no ties. So far we haven't had a tie, so knock on wood. This isn't a wood table, so wherever our stud is, to make sure there's no ties. But like I said, with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm super excited. I do want to give a big shout out, and I want to say Mr. Zach Pate, and also founder of the channel, does have another fight coming up December 3rd. So thank you guys all for watching the fight that was uploaded about a week or two ago. Then there will be a new one come. It's on December 3rd, so it'll probably come the day after or something like that. So thank you guys so much once again, and we're super excited, and we wish Zach the best of luck.